Hello and good morning, good morning, good morning. I am so sorry that I missed all of you on Sunday. Life happens, so I'm doing this impromptu live because I felt like there were some things that I should have talked about or touched base on, but I was not here. So here I am. I don't plan on being on long. Hey, Nikki Noel. I had watched a online message on Sunday, and it was talking about faith. And I think that's where I'm going to go today. And so I have activated or cultivated rather the alphabet based on experience. So it's July 1st. We are halfway through the year. If you have not done a vision board already, I implore you, I encourage you, I challenge you, get out a paper, get out a board, get out a note card, get out anything you can find, pens, papers, magazines, and create a vision board. Write the vision and make it plain is pretty much what we're going to do, so that we can see some fruit grow and cultivate and develop in our lives for the remainder of the year. I know 2020 has been giving us the blues, but 2020 is not over. The story has not been fully written. And so have some faith about what is yet to come. Hey, Laura, which is what I want to talk about. I was going to talk about on Sunday giving yourself a second chance, which I'll move that to next Sunday, because I really believe that we ought to be giving ourselves another chance to be excellent, to grow, to develop, to cultivate, to curate, to create, to inspire, to lead, to develop whatever it is that you desire to do. You've got to do it. You've got to do it while you have time. The power of now is upon you and you need to seize it. So we'll talk about that next Sunday. But today I'm going to leave you with 6 points from the alphabet about giving back to yourself and trusting what you believe in, which is why I said do your vision board. Get your vision board ready. Prepare, prep. Just to give y'all a short story, because I'm good at stories. My vacation started on, I think, 6/18 or 6/19. And so the day that I was supposed to get up and get in my car and drive to Georgia, I was so tired. I was like, I can't, I'm not ready. I need to stay in the bed. And so I had went downstairs, made a cup of coffee. I was on the phone with one of my friend girls, and I was like, yo, this conversation is going to have to wait because I'm exhausted and I need to go back to bed. And that's what I did. I got back in my bed, put the cover over my head, and decided, it's like, yo, we not going nowhere today. We're going to stay in the bed. That's just what it's going to be. And that's what I did. That first day of my vacation, I walked back upstairs. It was like 6 o'clock. 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. And I walked back upstairs and like literally jumped in my bed because it's pretty high these days. And threw the cover over my head and was like, okay, good night. The very next day, I was more rested than I was the day before. But I knew I needed to leave. I knew now was like, you better go. Because if you take another day to stay at home, you're not going to leave your home. And so I was just throwing stuff in a bag and was like, okay, take everything out of the fridge, take everything you need, just put it all together and put it in the car. And that is what I did. So 15 hours later, when I finally got to my destination, 15 hours later, when I finally got to my destination, I was like, I was full. I was like, okay, do I cry? Do I fall out? Do I desire food? Do I need a shower? I mean, I needed all of those things. But you know, when you're so either empty or you're so full, it's like, what do I do first? And so I just took a deep breath and was like, you made it. You survived. Everything is going to be good. You are going to enjoy yourself. You don't have any plans. You don't have any commitments. You don't owe anybody anything. Everything you needed to take care of has been sealed, signed, and delivered. And so just enjoy the time away. But life just still happens. And so praise be to God. I didn't die on my way up. But the very next day, when I was headed somewhere I thought I was going tubing, I got a flat. And my tire was going to, had I not pulled off the interstate when I did, my tire would have completely shredded. Like completely. When my roadside assistant showed up, which it only took them like 47 minutes, praise God, another plus. When he showed up and took the tire off and showed it to me, I was like, and so then here it is, this full experience. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad that I had first of all, I was nervous because my car literally started shaking, and I was like, okay, you got to get off. Where I don't care where you get off at. You don't know this area. Doesn't matter. Just get off. So after he showed me that, I was like, Lord, thank you for sparing my life. Of course, I could have panicked. Of course, I could have freaked out. But I look at the positive of it all. I was in a shaded area. You know, I don't like bugs. The bugs, if they were eating me alive, I couldn't feel it, so it didn't matter. It wasn't too hot at that time of day. So I was like, yes, this is perfect. And it didn't take them long to come fix my car. So he put the donut on. I had never used it. And then I started looking around for a tire. And I was like, okay, since one's flat, I might as well get two. Well, a week later and 4 tires later, because I went ahead and got all 4, here I am. And I was supposed to go home, guys. I don't want to go home. I don't know what I'm going to do with my life. I'm supposed to go back to work on July 5th. I don't want to go home. I don't want to go back. I don't want to work. I don't know what I'm going to do. But I'm telling you all of this to tell you, write the vision and make it plain. I have anxiety about not even the drive back. It's 16 hours and 25 minutes. I don't even care about that. I just don't want to go back. I don't want to go back to the same responsibility. I'm short again. Like I left and I had 3 staff. I'm going back and I need to hire 3 more staff. How about that? Don't even ask how that happens. Don't even ask why. That's a story for another day. Maybe I'll get to that. Maybe we'll talk about it. But I am going back to have to hire again, to have to work again, to have to train again. And not that I don't like it. I love training. It's just the need is always pressing. The need is always paramount. The need is always, it's just a need. And I always have to feel it all the time. It's like a revolving door. It never, ever ceases to amaze me. But it's wearing me out. It's tiresome. It's cumbersome. It's laborsome. It's worrisome. So that's the end of that story, because I think now is the perfect time to get into my 6 points. So I started working on this alphabet of sorts. I don't know what I'm going to call it yet, but you'll see the direction is lending itself, which is why I said, if you haven't done your vision board, if you want to change your vision board, if you don't like how your vision is going, rewrite the thing. Rewrite the whole thing. I started, because I didn't necessarily like my vision board. So I started rewriting a vision board and just glanced that in real quick. And that's the one I redid it. So this is not the final that I just did. But some of the things that I put on there were, I want to speak at big platform events, about relationships, about dismantling daddy dysfunctions, about relationships with women, about not being my sister's competition. I want to talk about things that heal us, about things that restore us, about things that build our community. Another thing that I put on there is that I would like to do a poem at a presidential inauguration. Yep. I put that on my vision board because I was like, why not? Show up for yourself. Make what you want reality. Put it on a piece of paper. Put it in your forefront. Put it in your thought process and believe it to come to pass. Work until you see it and then live it out. So those are a couple of things I put on my vision board. Oh, and I also put to make my passion projects, and my pursuit of them be my profession. So everything that I'm passionate about, that I love to do, that I would do for free, but I can't. I want to make those my profession. And so if that means writing my own ticket, if that means freelancing, if that means telling someone, hey, I quit, I resign, I'm done. I've got to do me. My health, my peace, my sanity all matter more than this. They're all more essential than this. They're all more important than this. Then that might be what I have to do. And so I am taking those little steps because little steps add up, little babies. I'm praying and believing for greater yet to come because I know that it's a time such as this. 2020 is the perfect time to show up for yourself, to declare everything that you want and desire by writing the vision and making it plain for yourself. You are so busy filling in the shoes of other people's visions and dreams and hopes that they're leaving for their legacies instead of creating your own. And so I encourage, I show you my own self. I mean, because I'm about to do it. There's no more trying. There's no more getting. It's done. Let's do this. Let's walk through this journey together. Let's show up for ourselves. Let's close some doors that should have been closed a long time ago. Let's walk through some doors that have been open and we have just been too hesitant, too afraid, too scared, too concerned with what other people think or imagine for our lives. If you are not willing to step outside of your own comfortability, you will never amass to the things that make you excellent. Sometimes we have to step outside of our jobs, our relationships, our things that we think are important that really aren't when it's all said and done, and let them go. So here are these 6 points. So get a pen, get a paper, or, come back and check out this live later because I do keep them on my page. So the first one is A, activate that faith. What do you believe in? What are you envisioning for yourself? Once you know what that is, turn up the dial. It's as simple as turning the light on. I had a conversation with one of my participants and we were talking about stop holding yourself hostage to the things that you can no longer control. You can't control someone's suicide. You can't control someone's death. You can't control losing a job. You can't control a marriage. Stop holding yourself hostage to the things that you can't control. And so if you see this thing, and we were in a room, in a space, and outside was another space. So I told her, turn off the light. She's looking at me like I'm crazy. I said, turn off the light. I said, so what do you see outside of this room? And she was like, light. I said, so what are we standing in? Darkness. I said, so you believe light is available for everyone else but yourself, and I don't yet know why that is. I said, so you have to stop and ask yourself why, and then challenge yourself. If you really truly believe this for yourself, if you believe it can happen for you the way you see it happening for everyone else, turn on the light. Turn it on. And she stopped for a minute. You could see the hesitancy. You could see the wheels in her mind turning. But she eventually got back up out of her seat and turned the light on. And I said, so now that you've turned the light on, don't go back to that place where you sit in darkness and say you can't have it. Don't go back to that place where you think everyone's telling you you'll never amount to anything. Don't hold yourself hostage to the things that happened in your past. Activate that faith. Trust the process. Believe it to already be working out for you. Walk in the essence of knowing this too shall come to pass. Activate it. Turn it on. And so after you've activated it, believe in what you pray for. So now we're at point 2. B, believe in what you pray for. If you're going to pray about it, then why doubt, worry, or fear that it's ever going to come to pass? I know the God I serve, his answers are yes and amen. So there is no doubt in my mind if I'm activating the faith that I have in the things that I expect, the desires of my heart, the will for my life, the purpose and the plan that gives me hope in the future. I need to believe that what I'm praying for will eventually come to pass. And then what you do after you've activated and believed, you go into confessing the word over that seed. Just like we plant in our gardens, just like we plant in our jobs, expecting fruit to grow, why wouldn't you confess a good word over the seed that you are activating and believing for in your life? What do you think is going to happen if you don't? But you'll never know if you don't do it. So confess a good word over the seeds that you believe in for your life, and then dare them to grow. Call it out. Say, if this is what you have for me, show up. Manifest yourself. Prove me wrong. Because this is what I feel is pressed in my life. This is what I feel my purpose is. This is what I feel the desires of my heart are. This is where my passion projects lie. If your gift is to coach people, then why aren't you doing that? If your talent is to see people walk in financial freedom, why aren't you doing that? If your gift is to have conversations about restorative and redemptive relationships with yourself and other people, why aren't you doing that? So sow some good seed into yourself. Confess the word over that seed and dare it to grow. Now, after you've dared it to grow, I dare it. That's what you pretty much got to say. I dare it. I'm going to watch it come to pass. Expect God to show up in your life on your behalf. Why wouldn't you? That's what faith is all about anyway. Because faith is, and that's my 6th point, F, faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. So as you're activating this faith, this desire, this passion, this purpose, this pursuit of, you've got to have some belief that it's going to come to pass, because it's something you're hoping for, even though you have not seen it come to pass yet. But believe it to come to pass. Expect it to come to pass. Speak a word over that thing. Give it life. Give it functionality. And watch those seeds take root in your life. And once you foster good, nurturing practices in it, it will grow. Other people will be blessed by it. They will see the fruit of that labor and want to come and be nourished by it. Some people will come and find healing from it, or restoration from it, or understanding or deliverance from it. If it's in you and you can't shake that thing, that calling on your life, that purpose, that plan, that passion, why are you not pursuing it? Why are you pursuing every other person's vision and dream and goal in the pursuit to keep your bills paid and your lights on and food on your table, instead of trusting this good thing to lead you into the way that you could set your own self free and do the thing that really ministers to your spirit? That's why this vision board is so important. That's why these last 6 months are so important. Take back everything you've desired. Take back everything that the enemy has tried to steal from you and destroy from you. You owe yourself that. Write the vision and make it plain. So whatever you desire, whatever the purpose is for your life, whatever potentials you have that you are actively pursuing and starting to see fruit from, and you know there is some benefit from that, not just for yourself, but for other people, because my gift is not just for me. It has to be able to give. It has to be able to break down some barriers, not just for myself, but for other people. It has to be beneficial long term. It has to grow something. And then it has to mean something to me, so that I stay busy in it, so that I stay motivated with it, so that I stay geared towards the sanity of it, the desire that I have to discuss and talk about and tear down dysfunctions and build relationships and foster Black men and Black women conversations where we have roundtable discussions. That's a part of my passion. That's a part of the project that I have. I've been pursuing that actively, regularly, consistently. And I know that it hasn't gone anywhere. It hasn't decreased in my motivation of, because I do it every week, consistently showing up for those conversations, because they're paramount for my passion, they're paramount for my profession, they're paramount for what I'm gifted in. And so I challenge each and every person who will watch this live, each and every person who is beginning a vision board, who's changing a vision board, who's just starting a vision board, because that's okay too, to write the vision and make it plain. And don't be afraid to rewrite it. Don't be afraid to add to it. Don't be afraid to take away from what's on there already. If you don't like what you see, change it. If you don't like what you're doing, change it. If you don't like what you hear, change it. That may mean removing yourself from people. That may mean removing yourself from places. That may mean removing yourself from a profession. It is my hope and my desire that these last 6 months of 2020 bear good fruit in each one of our lives. That we are able to walk away from things that do not serve us. That we are able to lead in a servant's heart. And that we are able to restore people back to the place where they can grow, where they can foster better relationships, where they can truly see the value and worth and what it means to build up communities, to start movements that don't just lack good people in them. The visions, the focus, the mind frames are of one mind and one sound. I desire to see many entrepreneurs, many people who dream, but not only dream, they hustle. I desire to see people who speak light into dark places and grow up a new generation of resilient, loud, and loud in a good way, loud, charmed, capable, confident, extraordinary leaders. We need them. We have seen some of the worst, horrid, ridiculous leadership in the past 6 months that we should never have to. And that's just not even from a government administration. That's everywhere. Leadership has been lacking for far too long. So I challenge each one of you who have a leader heart and a servant spirit to write your vision, put it to work, put it to get use for other people, and show up for yourself. I think that's probably going to be my mantra for the year. Show up for yourself. And then you give other people to show up for themselves as well. I love each and every one of you on this Wednesday. I am still on vacation. I don't care how long I take to get back, but when I get back, I've got some serious hard decisions to make. Y'all pray for me. When I do leave, I will be traveling via car. I do have 4 new tires, so that is a good thing. But I'm excited. I'm excited for the next 6 months. I'm excited for all the opportunities. I'm just excited. I'm overjoyed. I have friends who started podcasts since this year started. I have friends who have walked away from jobs and started their own clothing lines or their own ministries. And anything that you want to do, you can do it. You got to put in the work, but you can do it. And so I challenge each one of you to write a vision and make it plain. And enjoy the rest of 2020 and all that it's going to offer you. Don't leave any stone unturned. For those of you who did follow my podcast last year, A Set Apart Woman, it's revamping. It will be coming back. There will be a lot of podcast changes in my life, but that's one of them. I'm really excited to revamp A Set Apart Woman. It'll be more like a podcast that looks like daytime television shows like The View or and not necessarily the content matter, but just that kind of look. We're going to have several women on a platform having a discussion about things that really matter to us, specifically women of color. So I thank you for your time, Nikki. I surely appreciate you always showing up for me. I love you so much. And everyone else that showed up, Laura, Drea, my other cousin, I really appreciate you guys. And anyone else who I didn't forget, charge my mind, not my heart. I love each and every one of you. I hope you have a wonderful Wednesday. I will be back on Sunday talking about second chances for yourself. And so don't sleep on you. Show up for yourself, love on yourself, be kind. We are still in a pandemic, both with COVID and racial tension. So be kind to yourself, stand up for what's right, and always do good over yourself and others. All right, you guys, have a wonderful Wednesday. I'm going to go find something to eat. Okay? All right. Bye.